Welcome, Stella here. Today I've decided to do another journal. I've just discovered this craft and I've made a couple recently, and I'm finding that I quite like it. It's one of those that is basically no rules, no diagrams to follow. You just put it together. Having said that, there may be some rules in the actual cover, but we'll get to that later. I'm starting from the back end. I'm going to do my pages first because I am going to stencil some of my pages. So I'm just starting off with that. And I've chosen these three. One, and those flowers, and this little rose, and I don't know which ones I will use. I may even change my mind. So I'll show you what I've got so far. I've got a bunch of paper, A4 size, 120 GSM. So that's for my basic pages that I'm going to stencil. And then I've just rummaged through my stash. This album journal's got no theme to speak of, really, just pretty. So rummaging through my stash, I found this lined paper, and it's I think it's at least 176. It might be 216. At least 176. I had pre-lined it for something and never used it, so I thought, let's use it, because if I don't use it, it'll probably end up in the bin. So I only had 3 of them, so they'll come in handy. And then there's some of the designs I've created, A5 size, and they're just hanging around doing nothing. So I thought, well, why not use them? They can be used for pockets. That one can be folded in half. And divided into the signatures. That's one idea. This one can also be divided in half, folded in half, sorry. There's 2. I'm having 3 signatures, by the way. I think I'll fold this one in half, so there's 1 each. There's 1 each. These are not my designs. These I purchased and printed out, but I'm going to use them. They are really, printed them out on I think 350 GSM, so they would be good for holding up pockets or actually making pockets. Yeah, I'll use those for making pockets, and I've got 4 different designs here. So that's that. I've got some, what do you call this stuff? Vellum. Printed vellum. And I thought I might just add some. Just fold it in half and pop it in. That's that. And this, oddly enough, piece of craft, what do you call it? Cardstock. I nearly said cockstarred. Gosh, cardstock. Okay, this came in my new ream of paper. One in the front, one in the back. And it feels like it's definitely a 250. Definitely 250. And I thought, well, let's add that. Let's fold. Maybe not. Let's see what I can use this for. I can fold it into 3. Not sure about this one. Okay, and I've got my colours. Got some pinks, and I'm not quite sure what these are. That is, yep. That's almost a flesh colour. Very pale. And that's like a gold. Oh, that's nice. Nice yellow. Gold yellow. And then we've got cream apricot. They're quite nice. I could use them for my branches instead of going dark. And then I've got my Kaisercraft inks, which I really like. Don't need this one. And one of my favourite greens is Kaisercraft Fern. Just give you a look at that one. That's a nice green. If I went brown, that's it. But I'm seriously thinking of one of those, especially that lighter one. Anywho, let's move on. Excuse me. I'm seriously thinking about this for a pocket. Now what I would do with this, cut away the borders so that it's going to fit my A5, I think that's A5. So this is going to be an A5 size. So I'd probably cut away my borders, or maybe not. I don't mind that. I mean, this is a journal after all. Excuse me. And then I will cut around here. Actually, probably from there to the beginning of that border. So I've got a pocket built in. So I would glue that part to the page and down here and maybe a little bit up there, and then I would have a pocket for something nice to go in. Okay, that's that, and that's that, and that's that. Okay. I'm going to put a mat down here. This is a silicone mat. Just in case I get messy, and I do get messy. Okay. Now what we're talking here is these are all going to be halved. Okay, I mean folded. Why do I say halved? So I'm going to decide where I should go with this. It could just be a border, or let's see what it does at an angle. I am going to use this one. I'm intrigued with this colour. I'm not sure whether to use this or this, or this. First up, we're going to try this one. Now you notice I don't clip it or tape it down, I'm a freelancer. I'm not after perfection, I'm after enjoyment. Let's give this a try. Plus, I might also come on. Just put some of that in somewhere. Okay, I think that'll be good. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Oh, love it. Yes, I do. Okay, now I do want to put a flower, but I don't want the whole thing. I'm going to use some masking tape. Onto the wrong side. I think all I want is those flowers. I don't want all this. Do I want leaves? Is it best to have leaves? Maybe. Got flowers, leaves, and I don't want that up there, so that's as far as I want to go. Just those. So let's make sure that's all we're getting. Okay. Okay, I do have some brown. Here. I'm going to put a little bit of brown on the leaves. That's a leaf up there. That's a leaf, that's a leaf, and so is that. Okay, I've got a green one. This is my favourite green. Oops. Sometimes I think it might be better if one used cotton buds. These are just quite large. Okay, that's them. I've got to take this out of here. That's all very well, but it's a darn nuisance. So we've got, that's too pale. That is medium. I don't think we'll use the dark one. I've got anything in pink here I can use. Oh shoot. I'm going to just scoot away and get a couple of earbuds, ear thingies. Okay, got some cotton buds. Let's see how this works. Not great. As soon as you put it down, it's that's the darkest you get. Oops. And then I want to put the lighter one on the top. Oh, you did the darker one, you silly woman. Oh dear me. I'm not looking. I think that looks pretty. So back to the dark one. Just rub that across there and Actually, I like the fact that it doesn't give you a like a straight line, all the one colour, all the one shade, you know. It can, oops, oh my gosh, and I'm going to do dozens of these. Okay, now we go for the soft one, a soft pink. It's almost like a, like a blender, that light one. I've got no idea what kind of flower this is. So I don't know what to put in the middle. Probably some sort of gold, maybe. Well, that's real dark, isn't it? That looks nice. Okay, I like that one. Where's the other gold? That's let's go with the gold then. Okay, let's have the reveal. Oh my, I am absolutely sold. Isn't that just gorgeous? I love it. Even the little bits that have gone off, I love it. So I think I'm going to put one more flower in there, just the flower, or up the top. What do you think? It's just one flower. No, I'm really thinking there. Okay, it's our dark pink. I love the way it's not giving it a matte finish, you know, a perfect matte finish. It's just, it looks like it's painted. No, I haven't. I'm not an expert in what am I doing? Stenciling. Not an expert by any means. Oops, a daisy. It's not something I've done on a regular basis. It's something I just decided to try. I know you're probably supposed to stick this down somehow. how that blends in beautifully. And hang on, don't jump the gun, Stels. We want our really dark one for that middle. And then we want our gold one for those pieces. Oh yeah, that's nice. That is really, really so flippin' gorgeous. Okay, just close up these before we lose some colour, some moisture. I bought these on Temu. You get this beautiful tin. Just as an aside, and you get them in different colour combinations. Really good quality tin. Didn't cost much at all. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to scan this up on my computer. I don't think I would be able to, oops, maybe we'll put something there. Look. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to duplicate it. Do I want to duplicate it? Well, to a certain degree I do, yeah. So, I just want one. Let's grab some of that tape again. Oops, it's not an easy thing. Where am I? That's the one I want. This is the one I don't want. I don't want that. And another little bit I don't want. I don't want you. I don't want you. Okay. Now I can go that way, or I can take this and let it go the other way. What I'm trying to do is actually make sure that this pink, this little spot, is covered. So we'll just go here. This time I am going to just put a little bit of tape there. I have I've taken lots of the sticky out with static on my mat. So right, we've got the pale pink, and then we've got the mid pink. Okay, mid pink first. It does help if you can anchor it, really. But I worry that it will affect my paper. spot has been covered over now. Good-o. Okay, now the pale pink. Oops, there it is. It's a lovely blender, that one. Okay, let's just put our little maroon spot in there. And the gold. Okay, that's the flower. Now I'm pretty sure I used this and my green. Oh, look, got some pink over here. So cross, so cross. Well, can't see it now. It looks good. Carefully take our little bit of masking tape off there. And that's nice. Does it need another one? No, I know what it needs. I know what it needs. It needs a little bit of that. What colour did I use? Hopefully it's this one. If anybody knows of any other tool to brush stencil on that is really light and thin, you know, like this, please let me know. That's it. That's perfect. Doesn't need any more faffing. Love it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scan this up and then I'll come back and show you what I've done. Okie dokie, I've done it. And I've done it on both sides. So I've done 10 of these, which I probably should have done 9, 3 on each, 3 for each signature. So I've got 1 spare. That's okay. I might even print out more, depends on when I start to build the signatures. If I want any more, then I'll do some more. Okay, I've got a template here for an envelope. And I'm going to, let's just make sure, yes it fits, yes it fits. So let's just draw around. And then we have to cut these by hand, but that's okay. The day you want your Cricut machine after you've given it away. Never mind. Just make sure we are in the frame here. Might pay to sharpen my pencil, I'll just do that quickly. Oops. That was a dumb thing to do, Stella. Makes a difference though. There's a sharp pencil. Of course, the blunter it gets, the wider the line it draws. Oops. So we're just going to cut these out, and then I'm going to do a template of a pocket. I'm just going to cut straight across here, and then I'm going to round the corner with my little gadget. I don't trust my hand to give me a really nice corner. I find that when making a journal, take your time and just don't worry about how long you've got. You know, you might only have half an hour in a day or what have you. Do what you can in that half hour, but don't rush thinking you've only got that half hour. Okay, now I'm just going to put my ruler over there, and I'm going to fold this up and use my bone folder. And the other side. And the tabs. Okay, let's fold these and burnish them well, because I am working with 350 GSM cardstock here, which is a little toughy. And if I was starting from scratch, I wouldn't use 300 GSM. I mean, yeah, 350 GSM. No, I wouldn't use that. That's a bit... Luckily, my printer takes 350, which I'm very glad about. Okay, and let's grab our glue. Of course we're stuck. The hole on this little bottle is just very fine. I wish it was a little bit thicker. I mean wider. Come on. There you go. Come on, easy peasy. Seriously? Okay, if you're not going to play a game, I'm going to go with another glue. I can feel it quite thick in there. Let's see if I can squeeze. I'm using tiny quilters applique pins. It's got a little bit of an overhang there. It's just a smidge. You can hardly see it, but I notice it. And if I notice it, then it's wrong. Okay. Now, I am going to put magnets in here. Let's see what we've got. I like those two. Come on, glue. Here's my pokey tool. No, it's not there. There it is. Now you decide. I hate glue. Okay, we're just going to close that, and what I'm going to do is just grab a bulldog clip. It's not quite long enough. So if that happens, what you need to do is grab two little pieces of boxboard, something like this, just two little pieces. Oops, I didn't have enough glue. Okay, so I'm going to put that there, that there, and that one at the back. and that should just help. So let's just leave that for now. You don't need to see me do the other one. That'll come later. Now I'm going to do some pockets. Okay, I printed out my pockets on the back of these pretty papers. So let's get cutting. You could use your trimmer if you've got one. But it's just as easy doing this by hand. Now I'll get some small scissors. I'm going to have to cut it round. Not as perfect as a corner round cut, but you're not going to see them. So it doesn't matter. That one I could do. Yeah, wrong size. There you go. Okay, again with the ruler, or you could use your, what do you call it? Scoring board, which will probably be a lot quicker, but, you know, if you don't have one of them, then this is what you do. Not everyone has everything. Again, this is 350 GSM paper, so a real good burnish, if you please. Now, this corner here, I've got some bulk. So, I am just going to start from there, whoops, from where they meet, just take the top one and just cut a little bit off. That's all that's needed, just that little bit. And now, let's see if our glue wants to play friendly. See, don't cut too much off because you've got to put it there to join. And then this side. Should have put my glue mat down. Now I can have, yeah, that is just beautiful. Lovely, lovely pocket. Where did I put that other one? Okay, let's cut this one too. I printed this straight out. Sorry, that's my phone. Messages. Yeah, I printed this straight out on the decorative paper, but you could print it out on cardstock, this thickness, and create a template for yourself. And templates are always handy, drawing around and then cutting. Take that little bit off there, not too much. As I said, you've got to glue it. And try not to glue it to the inside there. Done that before. Okay, oops, look, I've just added glue there. And there we go, we've got 2 pockets. I'll probably do more. Okay, now let's show you what I'm going to do with this one. So first I need cutting mat. Okay, where have you gone? Okay, I don't know if you've noticed, but I have trimmed off a bit on the border, and I am keeping the border. Oops. Okay, I'm taking my blade and I am just going to go from here doesn't have to be perfect, just remember it's only a journal, doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to stop there. Oh, very close to the edge on that one. I should have started a little bit further in, but once that's, ooh, yeah, should have started a little bit further in. Anywho, we are going to, actually don't need to burnish that. I was going to, not burnish, what do you call it? Ink it. But it's already got that. But then again, having said that, there's white on the end there. Oops, for general inking, I really like this one, which is Gathered Twigs. That's this one here. And that's page. You can see how you can differentiate, and then we can pop something in there, some tags, etc. But I am concerned about that piece, so I'm just going to cut a piece of this. That's better. And once that is stuck down, that will be fine. So that's going to look awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, we've got pages. Actually, I'm going to see if I've got more in my stash of this one. If I haven't, I will print something similar out that I can do the same thing with. And this will actually be glued onto onto some thicker pages. I am also going to be adding some coloured cardstock and some, I might even do some tea dyeing for some different pages. But I think for now what we've done is enough for today. Okay, that's stuck fairly well. Fairly well. And if you don't stop messing with it, Stella, you're going to ruin it. And then on top of that, I could put a button. We're going to use these so pretty wooden buttons. Let's have a look. Look at those. I mean, it's just this design basically, isn't it? That's a pretty one. Butterflies. I mean, I love butterflies, but I'm not a fan. I'm going to pick that one. Could use hot glue, but I'll try this, and if this comes off tomorrow, then we'll stick it back with hot glue. That goes that way, I think. Oh shoot, of course you did. That is so cute. Okay, I'm going to keep my fingers off that. Keep my fingers off it. So we've got papers for journaling, and they will be cut in half like that, in between other things. We've got 2 pockets, and we're going to have two envelopes so far, and this weird and wonderful page. So I think that's it for today. I'll leave it a short one. Oh, what cut off this piece. I'm going to use that. I'm not going to throw that away, because I can use that as a belly band at some stage for something. There we go. So that's it for now, and I hope you'll come back for part 2 and see what else we can do. Thanks very much for being with me, and I'll see you in part 2. Keep well and stay safe out there. Bye for now.